Yes, we can. Now, today, we're working on the Corolla Advan. No, not Corolla Advan. The Advan Corolla Levin. 1 is to 24 by Hasegawa. Now, we're going to be doing a few things, actually. Um, One, we're going to be making some assessments on um, whether we're going to go masking or stencil on a few areas. There's some painting to be done. There's other masking to be done. It's all happening, peeps. Now, mouthful of coffee and we'll get started. As always, that is the ticket. Now, light on. Focus on. Focus on. Now, that will do for the time being. Here we go. Here's where we're at. Now, I've hit the... I need to unmask most of this because what happens, actually, better way of doing this. Give me a moment. Here it is. All right. Now, good people. Here is our paint and decal sheet. Now, what you will find they have done with this is they supply you with decals to make those stripes and indeed that arrow sort of a shape. Now, my thing on that is twofold. One, unless you get exactly the same red, you're going to have an inconsistency of colour, which for me, nah. Besides, I get a warm fuzzy glow from actually ah, okay. Oh no, I'm right. It's a curious thing. With this, they do the black is actually that light color, which is kind of confusing at times, but nonetheless. Now, so what we're going to do, first we're going to unwrap, and then we're going to have a look at what I'm thinking. Looking at the size of the stripes, we might be well served to simply get pieces of tape that size and overlap them, and boom, there you go. Now, then we come to some other options and ideas. We'll see how that rolls out. Foist, good people. I want to unwrap all of this. And we'll see about a few things. Now, I'll start with this is got the chair done as well. I'm going to be doing now the remainder of it in black. How's that come up? Oh, it's a bit sweet, isn't it? Look at that, kids. Like that. Very happy with that. I have been using a new varnish, and I'm a bit ummy and ahry about as a choice. In as much as, look at that, kids. Zoom in once I got all the tape off. Because it's goodness. Oh, what goes on with this tape here? What goes on? Right. Okay. Scissor time. Ding, 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 ding. Didn't complete seal, but that's okay. Black will cover that. Now, just want to do your mind, really, now, kids. Let's snip it. There we go. Most of that red's come up real nice. Now I have options. What I'm thinking I'll do is I will mask that up. I'll zoom in first. It's going to look really good when it's all right. Now, see there's a couple of spots that didn't quite go on because the mask was in the way. That's okay. That's all very part of the course. So what we're going to do first, we're going to mask up the red. Then we'll hit that with black. There'll probably be some touch-ups in the black we will need. This we will then do. Now, that being so, yeah, there we go. But that will look very cool when it's done, I think. Pretty happy with that so far. This is something we're not going to work on, but I did. That's the undercarriage. I'm kind of happy with that little area there. I think that's cool. Very happy with it. Now, I'm going to pop this up here for a moment. Zoom out. Now, other bits of red I did. Different red to that. This is the interior red, which is what I also used for the seat. Oh, yeah, baby. Again, a few little touch-ups required. This instance, yeah, there are a few. Now, the question I'm having here, that's a slightly different deal to the seat, and I'm wondering if I might be, will of course be putting a different colour on the side, whether I'd be well served to get that, because the red line that isn't quite right on there, it's very, very fine. What I'm thinking might be to I'll zoom in on that in a minute so you can see exactly what I mean. It's just along there. It's very fine. And because of that fact, may be to do that before I do the other colours around it. Now, I need some tweezer action here, I reckon. Very small bits here and there. Far more easily picked. Yeah. I get a certain amount off. I'll be able to get my speak. Oh. All right. Delay. I think you've got quite a view working in this area. So, mostly good. Whilst I do want to do the that wasn't the color I was going to do. So theoretically, oh, I don't know why that was that color. I realise why that is. Well, that's an area that I'll zoom. I'll get all the tape off first, then we can do a zoom in and an analysis. What we're actually. Oh, hey man, how you doing? I'm unmasking, as you can see. Yeah, this is the Advan Corolla Levin. My first car. Yeah. And at the moment, yeah, getting. Come here, you. All right. Now, one thing I have fully unmasked is this. I'm pretty happy with how that's looking. What I'm going to do once I've finished unmasking everything is that will ultimately be black around the red. So I'm just going to mask up the red. It has a few little touch-ups, but then the black probably will as well. Oh, look, actually, here's something I can show you. I'm not going to use it immediately, or in this instance, but it is damn handy for certain things. Liquid mask. This stuff, mate, very handy. Now, one other thing I'll show you in a minute. I'll just get this fully unmasked, and then I'll start getting it waxing lyrical a bit about masking. Oh, come here, you. Liquid mask is something you brush on, as you'd expect, being, well, a liquid. But what it's good for, because I've got some on the car, I can even show you. I'll probably be putting some on it. Actually, no, it might be. Come here, you. My golly. That is, oh, I see what the deal is. Got some, right, there we go. All right. Okay. So you're familiar with liquid mask. Now that can be very cool, I find. Obviously I've got the Vallejo one, but that's just what was given to me. Well, not given to me, sold to me. But I didn't actually know Humbrol made one. Things you learn. Now, one thing I would recommend is a diverse range of masking tapes. Now, as an example, give me a moment. Bury them all. Here we go. My masking box, or no, that's not it. I have an actual box of masking tapes of various sizes. That'd probably be good to show you what I'm talking about. There, reckon I can see him at the corner of my eye there. I spy with my little eye. No, I'm in Australia. I have heard of Telford. I can't remember where, to be honest, but I did not know that there was a model show there. I might have heard of Telford, reading Douglas Adams, or maybe on Monty Python. One of the UK shows that I've seen. Alrighty, now we're getting places. Now, here's a bit of a tip for you on the masking front. Yeah. Oh, God hand should be really good. I've got one of their cutting boards, and it's quality. You little. There we go. What I've tried to do there, that'll be more easily shown to you once I've peeled off the last couple of bits. Yeah, one thing I would say about masking, you are never, and this is a thing, but always bear in mind, you are never going to get a perfect mask. You're always going to need to do some touch-ups. So that's a good thing to accept straight away. Otherwise, you'll be doing your head in. Oh, yeah. Are you talking about the sprue cutters or tweezers? I'll be perfectly straight with you. I don't know what brand these are. These are the one I'm using. Are actually something my mum used to use. Now, here we go. Yeah, like anything, you do get what you pay for. That's a thing. It's a reality. Let's not be shy now. At the same time, there's no need to put a financial fist up your rectum in the quest for good stuff. Now, here's something you can do with regards to these sorts of tools, and I found them remarkably cheap. I went to a medical supplies shop, mate, and I got myself. I did get myself a pair of these. They weren't much. They were about $5. Scalpel blades. Oh yeah, top-notch, razor sharp. This stuff will do the job. Snipper. Okay. Again, this is the one I first got. The and that, I believe. Let's see if I can see a brand on it. I don't reckon it's a Tamiya. I reckon this is a Delta. Pretty cheap. But I wouldn't be lashing big bucks for something like that, man. Seriously. Don't. The average hobby shop one would probably be the. Yeah, I wouldn't be paying $40. Somebody said to me, "Look, I've got this great sprue cutter for you. 40 for now, bearing in mind that 40 quid in Australia, you're talking $60. Now, right about then, there's two words that can be used. The first word sounds like duck. Yes, it does. So yeah, it's like anything, man. Here we go. Here we go. You want to get from point A to point B in a vehicle. Yeah, you can lash ridiculous amounts of money. Get yourself a prestige vehicle. Do it in style, outbound. But at the end of the day, something like yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's a thing, isn't it? Now, and also be aware that people will upsell because, well, it's in their financial interests. That's part of the thing. Now, here we go. I'm going to zoom in for a moment. Now, where I'm at the moment with these, I want to have a slightly black sort of a thing, the way your handrail does, the interior of cars. But on the top there, actually, no, that's okay. There's a few little spots. Tidy up so I've got that nice leather look there. Keep that black bit there. You can see the mask hasn't quite covered there, and that's okay. Cover too much, that's okay. But that's our now. I'm what I want to work on next, color-wise. is hitting there's an aluminium colour that needs to go there. So yeah, I'll mask up for that. Zoom out. Right. Here we go. Your fiver one's doing the job all right, are they? If the answer is yes, yeah, I mean, just consider. Here's something you can even consider. Even if the snip's a bit rough, you file it. If you do, well, that's not really that big an issue, is it? Because you're going to be filing it anyway. Just putting that out there. Yeah, well, that'll happen. Now, next, I'm going to try to keep the interior masks in place because I'm going to need that. But now, now I kept that. That's got to be red. There's a whole stack of other colours that need to go in there, so I didn't paint spray that. Oh yeah, Lank, beautiful. Oh, cool. Nice. No. Ah, yeah. I'm in the very latter stages of doing a Dam Busters Lank at the moment. I'm just being a bit lazy because I've got so many kits to work on. So that does make one a bit lazy, you know what I mean? Now that, I have a cunning plan because I'll show you the paintwork in a minute. And they actually do decals for things, but I think I'm better served. Oh, okay, we'll let that come out. Oh, oh dear. Oh, my. Right. Most of it came out. No, it didn't. But we might as well redo that on there, which means it's probably going to pull all of that. Oh, no. Oh, that's a bit of luck. All right. Now, I'll be using liquid mask around there very obviously. Oh, yeah. I, um, I scored a whole stack of very useful odds and sods um, when my mum died, because she used to do miniatures. So yeah, I scored stacks. Anyway, now here is our hull. What we're gonna do is we need to replicate that. Now, the easiest way I can think of, because of course those stripes are gonna be the same width all the way across, is very simply, I'm gonna pop that up here for the time being. All right. This ruler is actually something I got off of my. Actually, pop that out. That's the back of a chair for my love watch can chairs around here, so probably be a bit more weary. Please don't miss that. Good. Yeah. Now, anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure up the diameter of those and those. Then all I've really got to do is make sure I have the correct width of tape. Boom. There we go. Ooh. Nice. Well, red gloss. Okay, here we go. Best way I can actually show you. That is what a gloss will look like when varnished. That's a gloss varnish there. So you can see it's very shiny. What you can need to decide is, do you want it that shiny? If you want a slightly flatter look, do I have something conveniently on hand? Not really. But ultimately, so long as you're happy with it being like that, yeah. Here we go. Here's a bigger tip. Are you doing it pristine? If you're making it pristine, gloss. If you want it weathered, matte. Because, of course, it's going to have taken some of the shine off. That's my take on it. I'm Ken Brockman, and that's my 2 cents worth. Now, we're going to do some measuring. So, this ruler was something I scored off from my mum. Now, we'll start with, erase this light, move the camera just a little. And just to get it absolutely right, I might even want to wear my goggles. Oh, that's making it worse. It's not the. There's probably the ones they've got some very fine. Here we go. Point. Do we want 3 mil? Now, where did I put a? Here we are. Now I may even have some of these in a minute. Once I've written all this down, and we'll go for the rear. And we want 3 mil. 4 mil. All right. Three. 2, 3, 4. 6. 3, 4, 6. Wonder what the next one is. That could be. Oh, sorry, man. I've got to get a bit closer to the screen I can't quite read. Yeah. Now that I don't know what to tell you, man. Um, ah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. But you don't necessarily need to give it 24, I wouldn't have thought, on the car that you've just seen there. Oh no, that's actually they've been there for a while. I usually settle for at least overnight. 12 should have been enough, I would have thought. No use of that magical word. Ooh, I just noticed something else, man. Trixie. I'll show you in a minute. The spacings on there are different too. I need to calculate that. Anyway, yeah, now here we go. That's a possibility. That might have done it. Don't spray too with varnish. As with so many things, range is your a thin light coat is better than, or 2 or 3 thin light coats is better than 1 heavy coat. So in that regard, excuse me, I'm about to do another measure. That might have been your issue, yeah. Now, five, 7. Yep, 7. No. Try that better. Yeah, that's totally correct. I can see exactly why that would be so. 8 mil. Now, yeah, I'd say it's possibly a case of if you spray it too close, because you do want to keep it arm's distance. Well, they say 30 centimeters. These cans I've got at the moment, they hammer it out because of the sheer size. As an observation, they yeah, I tend to do that like full arm distance. And yeah, so you're talking 3 feet, which is a lot further now. But I need to consider is that's how far big the red stripes go. How far apart now do they go? Here's a question as well. Give me a moment. So, think that one. Black gets thinner. That makes sense. All right. So, um, or uh, ooh, centimeter. You're in imperial. Yeah, 37 centimeters is 12 to 14 inches. 14 inches. Um, is it now? That. Okay. Okay. Now, give me one last notice on the Okay. Did you varnish first? Um, I don't know if it's about the thinner being warm. One thing I would consider as a thing would be that, okay, once the paint's dry with acrylic, it's actually still pretty easily removed. So you need to make sure you varnish before you do anything else on top. In fact, the importance of varnish is even down to here, because I varnish that so that when I mask, I know it's not going to come off. Now, if you didn't varnish, that would probably be your issue, I would suggest. Now, that said, measuring. Or, I wish it was 432. Wouldn't be 1, I don't reckon, but. Have a closer look at that. It looks closer to 3. Yeah, it could be that. I mean, let's face it, it's never going to help your cause, is it now? I find myself at 4. My failing is with glue in that regard. I just want to get on with the job, and sometimes you've just got to let shit dry. There's not much you can do about it, you know. 3. That makes sense. um, oh yeah. The Gyro Cut Pro. I'll give it a look. Obviously not now when I'm on, but that I'm getting to. Who would have thunk that, eh? So it's a pretty easy 4-2, and then of course, let me guess. Not rocket science, is it, kid? 4-2-1. All right. So that's the spacing we're going to require across there. Something I'm considering, or was considering. There are some of this I might still do. I was going to do the white panel with the 25 there, but that there is a complete decal that goes on top, and that's got actually underneath there. With that, you get the name of the racing driver. It all goes together. So that sort of kills it a wee bit. However, that which gets that on top of it, the Toyota and the Advan, those sorts of things, I might do with stencil. Got to work that out yet. Now, oh, that's that's probably not a biggie. Wouldn't go on the window, would it? Let's have a quick look. I would say, I see, yep. Just that it goes there. That makes sense. Okay, yeah, no biggie there. Now, next need to measure the front, our little arrowhead thing. Yeah. Now, one thing I'm considering I could do is spray that square of white, and do stencils with that. I'm tempted to. Why? Same reason that a dog licks its cojones, mate. Because I can. A respirator, is that for when you're airbrushing? If so, yes, I can see that being now 4 lines here. I can see that being an advantageous piece of advantageous tool. Yes. Now we are looking for outside one. I'll get my angle on. Give me a moment. Because it's at a diagonal, it's very easy to not reckon what I'm going to be. 1. Okay. 3. 2. 1. Then a half. In the red. Some of those I've got. I'll get to that. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that being a good investment. I have to do my airbrushing out in the shed because, well, without a respirator, yeah, soon work out that's going to have some unpleasant little outcomes, even in the shed. Now, the gap between those is okay. So actually, there's only 3 gaps, of course. 1, 2, and 3. That makes perfect sense. So there we go. All right. Now, getting places. So, with those dimensions taken into account, I'm going to worry about whether I'm going to do those as separate things after I've done the main codes. What I should probably do is put them in there. Now, what I'm going to do as well, give me a moment. Aha! There is what I was looking for. Now, I need to top these up for various reasons, not the least of which is our current project, which will require certain diameters of. In fact, some of them I've already got. Now, when it comes to masking, my man, here is the drill. Lots of different sizes. That's the single best tip I can give you. Okay, now something that I found really handy as a couple of types of Now, in fact, there's more, but wait, there's more. Now, first, this sort of really thick tape is worth having. Sometimes you'll want to cover a big area. Boom, there you go. Now, I also use extensively this good old-fashioned Scotch tape. The joy of it, it's a bit of a double-edged sword, but is that you can see where it's going, so as you can get it exactly right. Now, downside, hilariously, if you've got shit eyes like I do, you need to consider or have to look extra close sometimes because it's clear and, well, you may not see it. However, in the meantime, oh geez, more 2mm. What we have here, let's get this bit of sprue out the way, is a whole stack of different diameters of tape, many of which are less than 1mm. And they can really come into their own. When you're getting right into some tight spots, when you're looking at stuff like, here we go. Oh, here we go. Look at that. That will get you in to the tightest of spots you want. Thinnest little gauge. That one's probably 0.1, 0.2 of a mil. Yeah, they have their moments. But yeah, my biggest recommendation, dead set serious, lots of different sizes. Because then, and not entirely surprising, because you can, of course, if you need trim, accuracy will be given to you by one of these, a simple ruler. Now, one other thing you can do that's really useful on the masking front, and I'm a big fan of, is the humble piece of blue tack. Fantastic stuff, it really is. Let's see how wide that is. A bit too wide. Going to be a bit too thick, so we'll trim that down. Now you can manipulate that quite nicely with, here we go. That's probably going to be a bit too thick overall at the moment, but what we're going to do, push it in onto the edges there. Doesn't matter so much if it's all in the middle. It's starting to get loose on, it's pivoting on that. Now that's okay. In fact, you know what we might do here? It's going to be a pain in the ass otherwise. Is just rotating now on the bottom there. Seriously, who's going to see that? It's what we're going to do ultimately. Is put it on a plinth, just to say these. Alrighty, now. There we go. Right, so you can see how with blue tack we're just going to get a nice little, let's put a bit of tape there. That's going to make it real easy look, blue tack, it's marvelous. Whoever invented blue tack, winner, absolute champion idea. It's one of those things that you've got to say, seems to be omnipresent and never failing, never lets you down. A bit like one of those great constants, like WD-40. Assume you have that in the UK. And what's another U beauty? Gaffer tape or electrical tape. Let's face it, that holds the universe together. Everybody knows this. I might just do. Even if I don't get that right, that's tell you with a bit of brushwork. But there, about it. This instance is good because, of course, I'm dealing with a bit of a curve sort of a thing. Yeah, there we go. Let's hear it for blue tack. Yeah. Now, something I would say with regards to masking, this is something else I'd have to show on a different occasion. I do actually tend to put a video up about it. Canopies. Now, masking on canopies is, in most people's eyes, a pain in the ass, and who can blame them? Because yes, it is. I don't. Bearing in mind I do 1:72 aircraft, my general way of doing canopies is bare hand painting them. It's just easier. Give us a moment. I've actually got. That's probably a good one to use as any. Now, this is a tail gunner that I've got to put in. Pretty much, as you can see, nice and clean, and in many ways cleaner than what he'd be if I'd gone masking, I reckon. In my experience, you go say with tape masking, it never, almost, and I mean never, seems to hold solid. No worries. You're welcome. Oh, cheers, man. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for swinging past, man. Maybe catch you another time. Anyway, yeah, so that's things I do with it. Anyway, now, next, that done, I've got the chair done. Here's what I wanted to do. Now, yeah, I do want to tidy them up, but the bigger reality, life, the universe, and everything, as I also said, that can wait. Doesn't have to be done right now. What I'm more inclined to do, this will be really easy to stuff, actually. Yeah, no worries, man. You're welcome. Now, what we're gonna do is, all right, we're gonna start with some of this. Right. Now, other one across. In this instance, in truth, it's probably not going to make that many odds. Because other colours will go on top. I'm more concerned about masking off the red. That's probably my most important areas in truth. Probably can get away without doing anything else. But that's not the way I roll. So we're not doing that. Don't need something that big for the back there. Come get it together, Rob. What are you doing? What are you doing? Now, what I am thinking of doing is now I need a fairly thin one just to go up. Now, we'd have one that would be the exact width, I can guarantee you. Boom, 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 boom. Bit too narrow, perhaps. Just a shade too narrow. Slightly thicker variety though. No, son. I love it low. And what have we got here? There we roll with this one. Oh, I say, that's rather odd. So, where does this start? Go, kids. Should be plenty. We're gonna do cha-cha-cha. There we go. Get that toothpick. There. Nice. Then we're going to do the same there. And they've got that little curvy area. I have a cunning plan. Yes, I do. Now, once we've got this masked, I'll have a look at what the time is. I do have a couple of things I do need to attend to. Then, right. Now, will do. Yeah, I'll use this. Actually, and All right. Uh, do the aluminium there and gets underneath onto the red. Right. Next. Okay. There. Time. Okay. Made some good progress. So, pretty happy about that. Portrait. Nice and clean. Down. Maybe use there, a bit of blue tack there, and it's done. Then I will probably wind up the stream. But we have gotten some, well, got to help somebody out with some tips today, and that's always a good outcome. Yeah. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to, or all you're seeing here, talk to the hand, man. There we go. Bit of blue tack. He's done. Then I'll hit that with a bit of aluminium. Then we're getting some good progress. Actually, hoist before we start getting inside. Just here we are. Here's our friendly blue tack. There we go. Boom. Even before I get on with the pate, get that actually done straight away. And I just might would not be a camera. Do that. I'll tell you. Getting excited. Getting excited. All right. And there we go. All right. Well, now, I'm going to wind the stream up. People, I do have a few things I would wish to attend to. But, hoist. All right. Now, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. First time viewers out there, magic button for you. Follow, like, subscribe. If you would like to track me down on other platforms, I am Rob the Builder on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Robster the Builder on Instagram, Twitch, and Discord. And I'm Rob the Builder and Food Monster on Twitter. Or is that X? Now, tomorrow, why do I do that? In fact, this is the first time I've sung today. That's unusually rare for me. Yes. I usually do a fair bit of singing. It's a thing I do. Tomorrow I will be back. I am thinking that all being well, if you're wondering why I'm flicking my eyes up there, it's because my Lancaster's there. We will get onto the lake. I think it's very much on the agenda. As to what we're doing on the lake will be dependent on a couple of things. However, that said, yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Now, I'll be back a little earlier. I'm normally on around 5 p.m. Pacific time. You can work your time frames across from there by the hour, I guess. For those of you in Europe and Africa and other such areas, I guess that'll be late Monday evening, early Monday morning. Very early Monday morning. But yeah, if you'd like to swing past that too, would be most advantageous. And I will be back then. In what I will describe as the same kit time, same kit channel. I'll catch you then, guys.